Going back in time 2 million years ago, our ancestors were breathing through their nose just fine. There was no problem. They had very good, healthy lungs. They didn't have asthma, and their immune system was very strong. And the reason for that is because we are designed to breathe through our nose. We are not designed to breathe through our mouth. Comparing a baby that is breathing through their nose to a baby that is breathing through their mouth, the baby that's breathing through the nose will have much better health. That's because when you breathe through your nose, you get filtered air, you get humidified air, you get sanitized air, and you also get a nice supply of nitric oxide. All these things are missing when we breathe through our mouth. We don't get any of those protective mechanisms that are very essential for our survival. A lot of people think that, oh, if I breathe through my nose, I'm going to suffocate. You're not going to suffocate if you breathe through your nose. In fact, your body will function better if you can breathe through your nose. A lot of people might say, well, I can't breathe through my nose. It doesn't work. I need to breathe through my mouth. No, you absolutely can breathe through your nose. You have to train your body how to do it. Okay, now there's something called mouth breathing, of course, which is breathing through your mouth. But it should be minimal. For example, when you're talking, you're breathing through your mouth. When you're eating or drinking, you're breathing through your mouth. But the rest of the time, you should be breathing through your nose. And so we have to learn how to breathe correctly. The problem today is that most of us are mouth breathing all the time, and we have to retrain ourselves to start breathing through our nose. This is very important for our health. Breathing through the nose can help you sleep better, can improve your focus, your cognition, your memory. And it's going to improve your immune system. And I want to talk about that in this video because it's so important. You have to realize that every cell in your body needs oxygen to survive. Your brain needs oxygen, your heart needs oxygen, your liver needs oxygen, your kidney needs oxygen. Everything in your body needs oxygen to survive. Now, when we take a deep breath in, like this, okay, what happens to the oxygen? It goes into the lungs, and then it starts to diffuse into the bloodstream. The oxygen attaches to hemoglobin, which is in the red blood cells. Then the oxygen gets transported through the arteries to all the different organs in the body. And then what happens in the organs? Well, the cells will grab the oxygen from the artery, and then the oxygen will go into the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the cell. And this is where the magic happens. When you have enough oxygen in the mitochondria, you have complete combustion. So you're burning your fuel completely. If you don't have enough oxygen, you have incomplete combustion, meaning you're not burning your fuel completely. And this creates free radicals, which creates oxidative stress and damage in the body. So when you breathe through your nose, you're going to have complete combustion, and you're going to be generating way less free radicals compared to breathing through your mouth. Breathing through your mouth gives you less oxygen, so you're going to have more incomplete combustion, more production of free radicals, more oxidative stress, and more disease. Now, there's a really interesting book that I read that's called Breath by James Nestor, and he talks about this tribe in the book that lives up in the mountains of the Philippines. They live in the mountains. They live far away from everything. And he goes to visit them, and he notices that none of them have asthma. None of them ever had asthma. And he starts asking them questions like, what do you eat? What kind of lifestyle do you live? Are you exercising? Do you have air pollution? None of these things seem to be the answer. And then he noticed that they breathe through their nose all the time. He said, why don't you breathe through your mouth? And they looked at him like he was crazy. They're like, why would we want to do that? So he says, well, let me breathe through my nose. Let me see if I get more oxygen. And he does this experiment where he breathes through his nose, and then he checks the amount of oxygen in his body, and he finds out that he actually has higher amounts of oxygen. That's right, his body was able to extract more oxygen because it went through the nasal passage, and it was filtered and warmed, and all that stuff. When you breathe through your mouth, you bypass all these protective mechanisms in your nose, and you get exposed to all these pathogens. Pollen, chemicals, pollutants, and all this stuff goes directly into your lungs. Now, most of us can tolerate this pretty well because we have a pretty good immune system. But if you're genetically predisposed towards having allergies or asthma or some type of autoimmune condition, then you're going to have problems. You're going to develop inflammation and even swelling in your nasal passage, which makes it even harder to breathe through your nose. Here's another interesting point about breathing through the nose. When you breathe through the nose, it activates something called the parasympathetic nervous system, which is all about calming you down. It lowers your blood pressure, it lowers your pulse rate, and it helps you relax. On the other hand, when you breathe through your mouth, it activates the sympathetic nervous system, which is the flight or fight response. So it's going to speed you up and make you more anxious. So breathing through the nose calms you down, and breathing through your mouth speeds you up. Another interesting observation about babies. Babies that are mouth-breathing have very poor latch onto the breast during breastfeeding. Okay? They cannot latch on properly because their whole body is in a sympathetic state. They're always trying to fight or flight, run away from something, and so they cannot breastfeed properly. Whereas babies that breathe through their nose are very calm. They can breastfeed just fine. They're able to be soothed easily. They don't cry a lot. Mouth-breathing babies are very fussy, very difficult to soothe, and they're going to cry a lot. As you can see, breathing through your nose is far superior to breathing through your mouth. And so we have to retrain our body to breathe through our nose. How do you do this? Well, one thing you can do is you can start to notice when you're breathing through your mouth. Start to become aware of it, and then consciously switch over to nose breathing. Thank you for watching, and look out for videos that give you exercises to help retrain your breathing so that you can be empowered. Finally, please press the like button and share this video to help spread the good way.